It's a people, it's a community, it's a life, it's a heart, it's a
Ask me a
spirit.
question. The heck would you want a picture of a tattoo of $1,000 on your penis for?
What makes this book so relevant, even though it was written over 100 years ago, is that it's about terrorism.
The work, sex, cars, bars, broads.
And the children, it's building on what they have. They have great imagination.
Dementia is not a diagnosis. It's a set of symptoms.
And he kept explaining to me that I wasn't gay. You cannot be gay. You just cannot.
The main thing is to be open and honest and be, true to yourself.
Hello and welcome to Talking About. We've got some great topics tonight. My name is Jon Griffith. I'm your host. And with me today to discuss something rather unique called Don't Be Stupid is introduce yourself to our audience.
My name is John Scott Leota, and I'm with Don't Be Stupid. I've created Don't Be Stupid. Don't Be Stupid is an apparel company that's based on all positive aspects of sports and dealing with. We tried to create slogans that were based on sports-minded people, but that could be flipped on the side of the coin to be pertain to life.
Okay. Well, what is the evolution of it?
It started, I was actually working with somebody that chose to call me stupid.
Okay.
For whatever reasons that he had, and obviously that didn't sit well with me. And I came up with an idea one night of embellishing products with the idea of positive slogans that would put emphasis on not being stupid and trying to attack, maybe that's the wrong word, attack, but go after younger kids that we could get involved with in various sports and sponsor them and kind of show the different variations of positive slogans.
Okay, so basically this is, in the long term, this is about helping young people.
100%, yeah.
So, and how is apparel going to do that? Is this going to finance different programs, or?
Exactly. We're starting off like any business, we're there to make a living. But the mission statement for Don't Be Stupid is to give back, to help kids reach their goals and realize their dreams. And that's what we're going after. We're trying to bring it to a level where we can start nonprofit organization, which would be the DBS Foundation, which would get involved with professional athletes from all aspects of sports, be it skateboarding and snowboarding to professional basketball players and baseball players, to get involved in camps that we would run throughout the year, depending on the sport and the season, that we could get professional athletes involved for kids that come from diverse backgrounds or backgrounds where maybe they don't have the money or the resources to get involved in a sport that they want to, and get the support from some of the professional athletes that a lot of kids look up to.
How do you reach out to the athletes?
Sometimes it's difficult, like anything today. Who are you? What do you want? What are you looking for? Everybody has an angle. We really don't have an angle. It's legit. We're really trying to make a difference in a child's life, a kid, whatever there really is no angle. So we try to get involved through any entity we can, even a program like this where maybe somebody would see that we're trying to do this and contact us and say, we'd love to get involved. We've had a couple different professional athletes that are interested in it and really like the program. It's just kind of, as anything else, putting it all together and making it work.
Okay, and at what stage are you at this point?
We're kind of in the help us stage where we're doing it on a very low level. Low level, I mean we're not on that huge level of having the support of a lot of major names. One of the basketball players, I could say his name, Jason Kidd from the New Jersey Nets, showed interest and has showed us support. Matter of fact, one of the shirts that we have, if you don't take the shot, you'll never know. Don't be stupid.
Is that this one?
Exactly.
Okay.
So the slogan's on the back of that.
Okay, and I'm gonna just kind of hold it up.
Yeah, there you go.
And
that's pretty much what along the lines are. It's different sports, but the slogan pertains to life. Pertains to the sport.
Right.
So if you don't take the shot, you're not going to either succeed, but even on just the basic level, if you don't take the shot, you're not going to have a chance of getting the basket. But
right.
If you flip the coin, if you don't take the shot, it can pertain to anything. Waking up in the morning to go take a test at school,
Right.
The armed forces, anything of that, you know, any line of work you're in, and that's what our slogans are geared
Sometimes
towards.
you need to take the chance. Yeah.
Exactly. We have a big van and we have a motorhome, and on the back of both it says you miss 100% of the chances you don't take. Don't be stupid. And again, that pertains to sports, be it a soccer player, a basketball player, whatever. If you're not going to take that chance, you might as well, you know, sit down and relax. So it then goes on to same thing with life, school. You know, if you've got a test today, if you don't take that test, then maybe you can't get to the next level and go on to, you know, you have to take your SATs then to get your scores to be able to go on to college. So if you don't take that chance, or be it the armed forces, you know, if you sit back and you don't take the chance, you're not going to, you know, you'll never know. So.
Right. So some things are worth the risk. And what sort of outreach to youth do you have right now at this point in?
Right now we've been, I would say, the target market that we got involved in, and I don't know if we really went after that market per se, but we kind of fell into it, was the extreme sports market.
Okay.
Skateboarding, snowboarding, things of that nature. And what we've done is we've got involved with sponsors who are sponsoring some of the bigger names that are sponsoring some of these events. And we kind of come in as a smaller sponsor, but we try to get involved directly with the kids. And we have essay writing contests, and we kind of, a lot of our kids, we get hundreds of, you know, kids every week coming to us that want to be sponsored, obviously. But we take it to a different level. We want to see what their report card is. We want to see, are their parents involved in their sport? Are they, you know, how are they involved with that sport with other, you know, kids in school or outside of school, etc. And then we try to, you know, it's very difficult because you want to help everybody. But we try to take, I shouldn't say we go after the kids that really need the help, but it seems like that's what lands in our lap. You know, kids that maybe...
At risk?
Yeah, at risk. We're almost an advocate for so many different things, which we really didn't look to start with. We started an apparel company, but we've kind of become, you know, I'm known as the don't be stupid guy.
Okay.
You know, so I try to give a positive influence to kids, even if it's just a simple thing of, you know, before they're doing their event at skateboarding or inline skating, just talk to them, you know, give them positive reassurance. And I think I have somewhat of an advantage sometimes to maybe just their guardian or their parent, because for whatever their reasons are, they're looking up to myself or some of our, what we call our teammates, as being cool in a sense, because we're, you know, we've got this apparel thing and we've got cool vehicle and, you know, we're supporting them. So I found personally that in talking to them and giving them a pep talk that may be no different than what their parent or their guardian gave you, they kind of seem to almost listen to us because they put you on a different level. So
Well, yeah, and sometimes you just, the attitude goes up when you're with the parent, and it's a lot lower when you're with somebody else. Sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger than it is to a friend.
100%.
So, and in your case, the friend, you know, the stranger is a friend.
Right.
Which isn't always the case in this world.
No, that's exactly the truth. But, you know, in our case, it happens to be. It's kind of what you see is what you get. And I said there's no angles. We're not working any angles. We're, you know, realistically trying to hold true to our mission statement, which, again, like I said, is to give back, to help kids reach their goals and realize their dreams. And it is difficult because in our society today, so much emphasis is on money and how much money you can make and what do you have and what you don't have. So we're just trying to be a positive influence to a lot of younger people in the sense of, you know, going after that, taking that chance. But
taking the chance and some personal growth.
Exactly. And you know, wherever they take Don't Be Stupid to be, you know, we'll go with that. Because as I said, we've had so many different people from so many different levels of sports or life or, you know, backgrounds, and they take it for what they want. You know, we've had people say we should get involved in school programs or DARE programs or, you know, drinking and driving. So it's very difficult.
And you need to go one step at a time.
Right.
You're trying to build up. And as far as Don't Be Stupid Foundation, DBS Foundation?
Correct.
How can people find more information?
You can go to the website, which is don'tbestupid.com, or you can send us an email at info, don'tbestupid.com. If you have any questions, or if you would like us to somehow get involved in your event or fundraiser or what have you, you could send us information, what it's about, and we'd be more than happy to look at it and see if we can help. So.
And there is a link to the don'tbestupid.com website on our website, which is www.talkingabout.info. Jon, my time with you is up.
I greatly appreciate it.
A very fast few minutes, and I want to thank you.
Thank you.
And we are going to check in with Dr. Cynthia now, and she's going to be answering a viewer question on a relationship issue. So stick around as we ask Dr. Cynthia, and I'll be back in a moment.
Hello and welcome to Ask Dr. Cynthia. I'm Dr. Cynthia Pizzulli, certified sex therapist, and today we have a letter from Annie, who writes, I hardly ever have an orgasm with my boyfriend, but almost always when I'm with myself and by using a toy. Is there something wrong with me? Now, Annie, this is one of the most common questions that I get asked. Okay, women, as a rule, tend to feel very inadequate if they're only able to achieve an orgasm when they masturbate or when they're using a vibrator. The truth of the matter is, let's just talk some truths, all right? Fact number one, women can only pretty much achieve an orgasm from clitoral stimulation, okay, for the most part, generally. The second fact is that through intercourse, it's extremely difficult to have any clitoral stimulation. So what ends up happening is a lot of women feel inadequate because they're having intercourse and aren't able to achieve an orgasm because there's no clitoral stimulation going on. Now, the good news with you is you know how to have an orgasm. You actually know how to stimulate yourself so that you can achieve an orgasm. The next step now is to be able to tell your partner what feels good so that he can know exactly how to touch you so that you can achieve that orgasm. And you may not necessarily need a toy while you're having intimacy. The big problem is that women tend not to share these things with their partners because they're embarrassed or they don't really think they're entitled to the pleasure, or they're afraid that they'll disappoint their partner or hurt their partner's feelings. But it is extremely important to let him know exactly how you need to receive pleasure. And no, you are not at all weird because you use a vibrator when you masturbate, but you need to do the same stimulation that you do during masturbation when you're having intimacy with your partner. Thank you very much for writing. If any of you have any questions, feel free to email me or write to the address on your screen.
Hello and welcome back. We want to thank Dr. Cynthia for that insight. And now I am here with a very talented young man, Jason Yudoff.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you. Great to be here.
And I said very talented, which is a truth, and you have a very diverse resume.
I'd like to think that. I'd like to think so. I've touched on a bunch of different areas in the business in my short career. I do voiceovers. I've toured with a traveling show called Tap Dogs. Appeared on the Tonight Show a couple of times. I've done a lot of live industrials, kind of stomp-esque, rhythm percussion, like that kind of stuff. But mainly, my main deal is singing-songwriting. I play the keyboards, I play the drums, percussion, and I front my own funk rock band, and we gig around a lot in Manhattan.
Okay, and what brought that to be?
I've always been writing songs ever since I was like 15. I was a drummer at one point in my life, and when I started living in apartments, I quickly realized that I couldn't play drums anymore, or at least the way I wanted to. Okay. So I brought the keyboard out, and I started fooling around, and started putting together some songs. And when I got back into town off the road, I finally just got it together, made the album, threw together a band. We rehearsed quite a bit. They're a great group of guys.
Okay. And you're sort of oversimplifying it. Can you kind of elaborate on that a bit?
On what?
On the whole process, really.
Yeah, I know. I suppose it seems a lot easier than it is, but it's really, it really takes a lot of work because there's a lot of different areas in this business that need coverage. It's like starting your own business, except I'm trying to market myself and my music. So the store never closes when you're open, when you're working for yourself, as you know.
Right.
So there's marketing, and there's publicity, and then there's actually rehearsing and getting the show correct, and then there's booking the gigs, and there's making sure people come to the gigs. And it's a pretty detailed process, but there's, thousands of musicians in New York City trying to do the exact same thing.
Right, and a lot of people don't realize that the arts are a business.
Oh, it's a total business. Everyone thinks, you just put together a band, and, you know, where we play these songs in my garage, and we're going to go play Arlene's Grocery. But it really doesn't work like that at all. It's a lot more complicated of a process.
Yeah. You give someone a disc that you recorded yourself, and...
Man, I send press kits out. I probably send 25 press kits out, you know, a week. I've done major label mailings, management mailings, promotional mailings. I can't count how many different times of different types of mailings there are, but you just have to stay focused, and you have to keep promoting. Always. That's the name of the game.
Are there any major changes in the business that make that more easier, more difficult? I mean, because I know...
Well, I'll tell you, about 3 or 4 years ago, I was working with a bunch of different producers, and this was like the boy band era.
Okay.
So I really wasn't too hip with the boy band vibe, and, you know, people were like, okay, we're going to use some sampled sequence drums, and we're going to chop these songs in half, and I just walked. Like, I walked away from it, and I figured, you know, hopefully one day the age of the singer-songwriter would return, and I'm hoping it has, with the Nora Joneses and the Pete Yorns and the John Mayers, and even though I think my music is a bit different and unique all its own. Definitely the times have to change before I can make the impact that I need to be.
Right, and I think I start to see that happening. You know, the foundation is being laid for that resurgence.
How so?
Just by looking around at some of the local clubs, you see a lot of singer-songwriters performing.
Well, a lot, and you also see a lot of singer-songwriters, a lot of guys with their guitars, a lot of people who are sitting there because they don't have the time to put together a band. And sometimes it's a lot easier to go and play. I mean, when I want to play a solo show, I still have to bring, unless the place has a piano, I've got to bring my keyboard, an amp, a stand, a chair, a power, like figure out all that stuff. But if you have a guitar, if you're just a guitarist, not just a guitarist, but if you're a guitarist, have Guitar Will Travel. And it's a lot easier for you to get what you want to do across when you're playing solo. But I feel that I can play solo and that's nice, but really my main thing is the groove, and if I have a group of musicians around me playing my stuff, it's unstoppable, because we can just really all get in there, groove it, enjoy it, play it, you know, and then it's not just me sitting at home. I can sit at home in my living room and play by myself if I wanted to.
Right.
You know, which I've done for years. But
right.
The record people don't ring my doorbell and come in and say, hey, I live downstairs from you. I think I'd like to sign you to a record deal. So you've just got to hit the circuit and put yourself out there as you feel you should be marketed. Do you know what I mean by that?
Mm.
So, like, I can get out there if somebody says, oh, I think you're a big band guy, or you're a jazz guy. You know, there's a part of you that says, well, I don't really care what you want to call me as long as you call me.
Right.
But on the other hand, you know, you don't want to go out there really as something that you don't feel you are, because then it takes a long time to overcome that.
Okay.
Like, I'll give you an example. Right now I'm in discussions with someone who's trying to license one of my songs overseas, which is a ballad. And I write a lot of ballads. I got ballads that'll make you want to jump off a bridge.
Okay.
But I'm not a balladeer. Do you know what I mean? So
right.
If this ballad comes out first, it's a lot harder to recoup from, you know, you put a ballad out first, and all the guys right away will be like, oh, I hate him. You know, because it's a ballad. And then, you know, if you're a big macho guy, you're not going to be into the ballad. Unless you've got a couple of funk tunes out there first.
Right.
Then the ballad shows up, and you're like, oh, yeah, I can dig that. You know, like, yeah, it's a ballad, because you've already established your presence as an artist.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and when they hear your name, the first thing that they don't think of is sappy.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
So I brought you a copy of my album, Smoke,
okay.
Sex, Water.
Oh, I appreciate it very much.
Enjoy. We got 13 tracks on there. Full instrumental. I believe in playing the instrument.
Okay.
Taking lots of solos. I think my band pretty much, we run the gamut of being sort of I'd like to say a commercial marketable band, because we have singles, you know, and I have radio-friendly, which means shortened
okay.
song mixes, you know, for the radio. But really, I'm into playing the instrument, and I long for an age where people come back and you can listen to the radio and hear people actually playing their instruments.
Right.
So we're like half of a commercial marketable band, and then half of like just the jam band mentality. You know, I would say like probably a cross between, or a hybrid of different styles, like Stevie Wonder meets the Black Crowes, meets the Red Hot Chili Peppers, meets Dave Matthews Band. You know, like it's all kind of a real conglomeration.
Right.
And since I'm a percussionist, I think I play with a different sort of keyboard style, a different keyboard edge than many of the other piano players out there, who I'm not down and I like all their stuff.
Are there any particular influences that you...
Well, probably too many to list in the short time that we have, but I can run the gamut from classic rock and 70s funk, you know, to Led Zeppelin, to Stevie Ray Vaughan, to, you know, obviously Billy Joel. Growing up in this area was a big songwriting, I'd say more songwriting influence for me. But really, in my later years, it's been more funk, you know, like a band like Jamiroquai, or a band like, even an artist like Beck, who takes, you know, samples and stuff, which I don't really do, but I just dig the vibe he has.
Okay, yeah, it's a unique flavor.
Yeah, definitely, and that's the goal. You know, you want to try and be different. You want to try and be unique. I bring a lot of energy when I perform, and so do my guys, and hopefully that sets us apart from, you know, the other 100,000 bands that are around town playing.
Right, and you do play a lot in the New York area?
Play a lot in the New York area. We're starting to branch out. Mostly it's been Manhattan. But we have our first Williamsburg show this next week. We've got a big show in Long Island in June, I think June 15th, at the Nutty Irishman. And we're starting to work on some college gigs and starting to expand our audience. And, you know, it's all about trying to capture new fans, get them while they're young, before they can move to the city and come see us again. You know.
Exactly, and since reruns are forever, and June 15th at some point will be in the past.
That's true.
Where can people find more information about you?
You can always go to my website. It's www.jasonyudoff.com, JASONYUDOFF.com.
And there will be a link to that at the talkingabout.info webpage, and that will be up and running that link will be up and running by the time the show is airing. So.
Fantastic.
You can check it as soon as the closing credits are over, which will be momentarily.
All right.
But we are going to take a look at performance tape of you before
Yeah,
we've
got a live clip. I do a regular Monday night show at Kenny's Castaways down on Bleecker Street between Sullivan and Thompson. This is a clip of one of our tunes. So you can always catch us there on Monday nights at about 10 p.m. This song I believe you're going to see is called Before. It's my shortest song. The record people love it, and I hope you do too.
Okay, well, Jason, I want to thank you for joining us.
It's been my pleasure.
It's been a good time for me as well, and thank you for the CD.
Rock out.
And I want to thank you for joining us on Talking About today, and I will see you again next time. Our website, www.talkingabout.info. Now let's take a look at Jason's clip. Take care.
You know right, thank you very much. This song is called Without You. It's been so long since you were gone, but sometimes it feels like yesterday when you went away. I can get used to anything, but that doesn't make it easier not to think of her, 'cause I know